Today's topic of discussion is one that I talk about all day long at work, and that is posture. The reason that I want to talk about it is because so many complaints of aches and pains originate with posture. And if we can just make some tiny little modifications to somebody's posture, it can make like a world of difference. There is no quick way to fix this, unfortunately. It's just about creating awareness. There's no one exercise that's gonna perfect your posture. It's you thinking about it all day long with everything that you do. And I've been there before, and I have found that it has made the greatest difference with my own aches and pains. And it always usually takes someone else to see it and to bring it to light for you. But hopefully I can kind of provide you some cues for you to check in with yourself and see if you fall into any of these categories. So we'll start with like perfect posture. So that is like having your ankle, knee, hip all the way up to your shoulder. Everything should be aligned. Everything should be in a nice straight line. And we'll start from the ground up of what a very typical posture is. A typical poor posture. So it is hanging on the knees. So I'm in hyperextension of my knees. And that puts a lot of stress on your joint. And you're basically hanging on your ligaments now, right? So here I am with my legs actually engaged and I can feel my muscles on. And this is when I'm not. So you can see I have a little curve like that in my knees instead of being locked straight. Straight, curved. And I can get real curved there, and we do not want that. Okay, so then from the knees to the hips. If you're letting yourself lean on your ligaments in your knees, you're probably going to do the same in your hips. And so your hips are going to shift forward. And then as we come up the chain, my back is now arching too much. And then on top of that, you gotta kind of like compensate for all these like curvatures. And so now you're really leaning back and getting a huge curve in your upper spine. And then that leads to neck coming forward. Let's check me out and see how I look. Pretty terrible. And so now if I want to have somebody do an exercise like a squat, they're already set up for poor posture. So they're going to have their knees come way forward, their back is going to kill because everything is rounded, and their glutes are definitely not going to turn on in this position. So start with like the feet. If you go look at the foot intrinsics video of how to get arch doming or short foot, basically creating more stability and strength in your arch, starts there. So you're creating like a tripod in your foot. You're pushing through the base of your big toe. You're engaging the arch in your foot. And so when I don't do that, I kind of fall into this posture. This is just my resting, unaware posture. When I at least engage my feet, it's already getting my knees lined up with my ankles. It's getting my hips a little bit better, but I could still do this. I can still hang out. So then I want to squeeze my quads, get them really aligned, knees, ankles aligned, hips aligned, and then pelvic tilt. So now I'm in a neutral pelvis. Probably see this better this way. So here I am just hanging out, right? So my pelvis is here. It's rotated forward. That's an anterior pelvic tilt. And then if I want to be neutral, I'm coming straight up, and now my pelvis is neutral. And you can see my back, too, doesn't have a major arch in it versus here. Or when I'm here, just really hanging out on those ligaments, I am doing no work. My structure is doing all the work for me, and that is not good for our joints. So engaging all the way up, tilting the pelvis forward, and then shoulders down and back, chin tucked. So here's like a typical posture is here, and all we want to do get the eyes level. You shouldn't have your eye gaze upwards. It should be straight forward. And then tuck the chin back. So chin tuck is not this, it's this. Shoulders. That is the easiest way to keep yourself in check, and it's a lot to keep in check, but really stand here for like a good minute and think about like what you feel and how you feel, and you should feel totally wrong. It should feel so uncomfortable for you, and if that's how you feel, then you're doing it great. That's awesome. If you feel really comfortable, but your posture is usually like this, then you know you're probably missing a piece of the puzzle somewhere along the way. This should feel very wrong, so that when you go to check it and you don't have a mirror in front of you, you should be able to kind of feel your way all the way up and think, okay, yes, this feels like how it felt when I stood there for a minute. Make this an actual exercise. Just stand, hold it for like 5 or 10 seconds, and then just relax completely. And then do it again. Feet, quads, hips, tilt. Other thing is ribs, but maybe we'll get into that another time. All the way out. The body needs to be stacked to be at optimal performance, and that is for anybody, whether you're like an awesome athlete or just a normal person, which most of us are. So I hope that helps some of you, and I hope that keeps you out of physical therapy for some time. And then just comment with any questions.